Hey everybody, welcome to Shooting the with Yankee. As usual, I'm Yankee, so let's start shooting. Tonight we're going to talk about what seems to be a very controversial subject, according to the comment sections of one of my recent videos, and that is the new 2A executive orders that Trump signed, I believe it was yesterday, which basically says they're going to look into undoing some of the stuff that Biden did, which was basically next to nothing, and they wouldn't need to do any major things to undo it. He could undo it with an executive order because that's what they were done by. So really nothing major. The only thing Biden did was, pass a law that said states would get money for enacting anti-gun laws they were already enacting, and it was money they were already getting anyway. So it was just, political theater for the left. So this is just political theater for the right, in my opinion. And seems to be a lot of people don't seem to recognize that. They think that, this is something major. All this 2A order did, and that I can read and reading it and seeing it, all I can see is that it says, we're going to look into this. We're going to see if there really is a problem with people getting their Second Amendment rights violated, which I'm like, well, does this really need to be looked into? Isn't this something that's been ongoing for a long time and there's case evidence and everything else? Why do we need to look into it? And plus, Pam Bondi's the one that's going to look into it. What is she going to do? She doesn't have any power to change any state laws, especially if they haven't been declared unconstitutional. So what would she do even if she did look into it? And even if she did agree with our definition of the Second Amendment? We know Trump doesn't agree with our definition of the Second Amendment. He banned bump stocks. He said that people aren't due process before you seize their guns, that you should take the guns now, give them court dates later. So we know he doesn't believe the same thing about the Second Amendment we do. So whose idea of the Second Amendment are they going to be making sure is being enforced? Theirs. We know Pam Bondi's not pro 2A. We know Trump's not pro 2A. If you want to try to make the point he is, I welcome you to come try to make the point he is. Ain't no Trump tard yet been willing to come in and try to make that point, because they know they're full of shit. And they know they're just, sucking the dick of someone who they think loves them for some reason. I don't know why. He's never done anything to show that, but they think that. But as far as what his executive orders did, they did nothing. They said, we're going to look into it. We're going to see that what's happening should be happening. But then again, like I said, whose idea of what should be happening? Trump's? Bondi's? Doesn't do anything. Trump could have actually done something. He could have just, with a swoop of a pen, undone all of Biden's executive orders. Just boom. Today I've undone all Biden's executive orders regarding guns. Could have done that. Didn't do it. He could have said, hey, Supreme Court, we've got all these pro-gun cases that need to be decided for the safety of the country. Could you step in early? He could have done that. He does that for his own cases. When he's the defendant, why wouldn't he do it for us? But like I said, I don't think these orders do anything. The GOA is making a lot of effort right now to making you think they do, because, they want status quo to continue. Their paid mouthpieces on the internet are repeating the stuff like Guns and Gadgets. He's the biggest fucking liar and coward on the fucking internet. If you listen to him and believe him, you probably got a screw loose. That guy is worthless. He's a fearmonger of the highest order. So these people want to keep having things to fearmonger over. They want people to stay divided. That's the only way they make money. GOA, these talking heads, etc. And Trump doesn't care to do anything about the Second Amendment. And if you believe otherwise, I don't know why. Come in and tell me why you believe otherwise, because I don't see it. I would love to hear your opinion on it. And speaking of that, let's go over here and see if there's any opinions over here on it. Edgar Cortez, who is the winner of the Silver Bullet and needs to get with me on what Silver Bullet he wants. Sorry, but I have not heard about this 2A executive order. Well, I just explained it. So maybe now you'll have an opinion on it. So hopefully I'll see you again here in a second. And hopefully you'll let me know what Silver Bullet is you want. Ghost Gun said, did you get package to fill the hole? I assume that he might be the one that sent me the toy gun I got in the mail today. I got a toy Python, Colt Python, little black toy Colt Python that shoots little rubber bullets. You load the little cartridges. It's like you're hand loading. Closest thing I'll come to hand loading. So I'm thinking that might be him that sent those. Ghost Shadow said the 2AEO has no real action. Make a committee. Yeah, they should do something. They could have done lots of things. I mean, if he'd have sat down and said, today I've asked the Supreme Court to intervene in this case, that case, or this case. That would have been something. And he's done that for his own cases. Why wouldn't he do it for the Second Amendment cases? He could hasten some things along, but he hasn't. He decided to just stall and do nothing. Losing my voice because I've done like 2 videos today. Yes, depending on what Bondi does with it. Well, there's nothing she can do with it. What do you think she can do with it? It could have major implications if she follows Bruins. How would she do that? Pam Bondi doesn't have the power to do anything about any of that. The Attorney General can't go to the state of Washington and say, hey, I don't like your laws. They're now invalid. Can't do that. That would be, they would have to sue them to say that those laws are unconstitutional. Those lawsuits are already happening. So what is it you think it could do? Because I don't agree with you that it can do anything at all. And plus, I don't think even if she had the power, I don't think Pam Bondi would do something, but she doesn't have that power. All she could do would be file a lawsuit against the state that passed the anti-gun law, unconstitutional law, and take it through the courts. That's all she could do. And those cases are already at the Supreme Court. So nothing. It does nothing. I mean, that's a very hopeful interpretation of it, but I don't think it's an accurate one. Jimmy Carrillo, he just joined my WAP. He just got in the Yankee Marshall WAP. So everybody move over. Let's in there. Make some room. Dale Rickety said he could wave a wand and remove the word firearm from the ATF, but will not. If he does, I will be the first to say I was wrong. Well, I would love to be wrong on the Second Amendment with Trump. In fact, I keep saying, I hope he does the right thing. I don't think he will, but I hope he does. I'm rooting for him to. And if he does, I'll heap praise galore on him. And that's what he loves. He loves the praise. And these people that give it to him, no matter what he does, that just means he doesn't have to do anything for it. Withhold satisfaction or gratification from him, and you see how much faster he acts on things. Give it to him constantly, slobber on his shoes constantly. He doesn't got to do anything to get that adoration. And he won't if he doesn't have to. So I don't agree with that at all. But he could do lots of things. He could, right now, he could say, make an executive order to the ATF to say, any decision that's been made in the last 20 years that wasn't backed by actual legislation from Congress, any decision you've made that you've put into practice that isn't an actual law passed and approved by the Senate and the House and signed by the president is now null and void. And you're starting from scratch. He could do that today, and he hasn't done it. So what does that tell you if he hasn't done it? Mikey D says, as U.S. AG, she could order her AGs to drop cases against, what would that do for the gun rights, though? Delaying some cases against people. The courts are already doing that. People are already winning their cases, like the possession of an automatic weapon case just got decided by an Obama judge and ruled in favor of the person. Didn't invalidate the law, but ruled in favor of the person. So she ain't going to do that, period. And plus, the Attorney General, if they start telling AGs and states to drop cases, that's a gross violation, especially if they do that on the word of the president. They would have to decide that these cases have no legal merit, and that will be decided by the courts, not the Attorney General. That's a gross misuse of the Attorney General's office. But that wouldn't change anything. That doesn't give us any rights back. And unless they say we're never going to prosecute people for this, well, it doesn't do anything for anybody, period. That might give you a temporary reprieve for a year or two until someone else gets in charge in Congress or the new president comes in a little while, but that doesn't do anything. That's accepting crumbs when we should be asking for cake, when we can actually get some cake. There's cake right there, but you're just okay with the crumbs that dropped on the floor. Mark Calkins, Trump is flooding the news with his many EOs as fast as he can to keep his opponents occupied and his rabid supporters pacified their distractions. Exactly. It's not doing anything. Most of the stuff he's written doesn't do anything. I mean, they're making moves in immigration, things like that. So, I'm not sitting here saying he's not doing the things he said about immigration. But that's not my main topic. My main topic is guns. And I think everyone knows that. So I want to see what he's doing about firearms. And I'm not going to sit and complain about what he's doing about immigration. I'm someone who, even though I am more of a liberal person, I'm a classic Jeffersonian liberal, but that doesn't mean I agree with illegal immigration. So I would think most people who were actually thinking classical liberals wouldn't. So I'm not complaining about that stuff. I'm not sitting here saying Trump is Satan trying to destroy the world. I'm just saying he's not doing anything for gun rights, and people pretending like he does isn't helping any. Aldous Orwell says Trump shut down the Office of Gun Violence Prevention on his first day back, and thank God we have his 3 SCOTUS picks instead of 3 Merrick Garlands. Sounds like you're deflecting. You're trying to talk about something else. The Office of Gun Violence did what? Nothing. It's just another one of those useless branches to where they can have PR events. Does nothing. He could have done actual things. It seems like you're trying to make excuses for why he's not doing actual things by saying, well, he did these things, even though those are nothing. And yeah, the 3 Supreme Court justices, they're already there. That doesn't mean he shouldn't do something now to make things go better and go faster. So it seems to me like you're willing, like I said, to accept crumbs when you could have cake. It sounds to me like you don't even care if you get the crumbs. If he just glances your way and maybe smiles with a little gleam in his eye, you'll jizz in your pants because you obviously don't care for results or actual actions. That was a little harsh, probably, but looks like that's it for everybody coming in here. But like I said, I have not seen a valid argument yet that this is doing anything. And if you actually watch the videos of the people who say it is, and the people who, like the GOA who support it, are like, oh, this sets the stage for this. Well, this doesn't actually do this, but it indicates this. It doesn't indicate anything. It doesn't set the stage for anything, because any of those things they could have done. This is an action that wouldn't be needed. If they were going to do something, they'd do it. This is the kind of thing you do when you're not going to do something. So quit making excuses and ask them to do something. But as I was saying, that's my opinion and the opinions of some other people. If you want to weigh in on one of these things, feel free to comment on this video here. If you want to talk about our next topic or whatever topic you want to bring up during the chat, come to our next live chat. We have them every night, 6 p.m., except for Wednesdays when they're at 7 p.m. Come on in. Let your opinion be heard. I want these to be more about your opinions than mine. I want to have everybody out there make a good point, hopefully. Counter if you can. And don't be cowardly. If you got something to say, come in the chat and say it. I'll even give you 10 minutes of time that you can say your piece. We'll make a video out of it. You can put it on your YouTube channel, whatever you want. But like I said, I need your opinions, or else I'm the only one talking. And we all know what I think already. So like I said, hope to see you at one of our future live chats so we can hear your opinion. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.